Hi, I'm Dr. Elliot Adam from ElliotOracle.com. I'm also the author of the award-winning Fearless Tarot and the upcoming Tarot in Love from Llewellyn Books. And it is time for this week's Oracle reveal. Before I get to the Oracle, I'm so excited to announce that I will be a speaker and presenter and teacher at the upcoming Tarotpalooza event that is going to be in October. And I have tickets on sale on my website, and there'll be links in my Instagram as well so that you can get a ticket there. But I'm going to teach you how to take your tarot readings to the next level to go even deeper into the cards. And I'll talk more about it as we get closer to the date, but I'm super excited. So if you're interested in learning from me, go and get a ticket to Tarotpalooza following the link that's going to be in my website, ElliotOracle.com, or on my Instagram page. It is time for this week's Oracle. So the three animals this week were the otter, the turtle, and the crow. So if you're just joining me now, ask yourself which animal is getting caught in your head, because that animal has your message for you. For those of you who picked the otter spirit, the card says you are never alone. And otter is all about relationship energy and connection. It's also an animal that has this exuberant joy and flexibility and playfulness. So if you're attracted to otter, this could be a time where things may have gotten too serious or too heavy, and you're learning to lighten up again and to really allow your spirit to soar. First card for otter is where it's best to place your focus. And appropriately enough, it's the Four of Wands, which is a card of celebration, partying, having fun. Sometimes the Four of Wands is a little less intense than partying. It can just indicate that this is going to be a time to celebrate an accomplishment, to lighten up. The meaning of this card is very simple. It's just showing people who are dancing unself-consciously, enjoying themselves. And sometimes the message of this card is that it's time to socialize, flirt, have fun, enjoy, and also develop some new relationships at this time. The Four of Wands is always a happy card. So this could just indicate that this is a really important week to let your hair down and to be less self-conscious of what you should do or what other people think about you, and instead to really just let yourself go into joy. The advice from your inner wisdom is actually the King of Cups. And the King of Cups is stable amidst the crashing waters around him. He's anchored. He's even got a ship behind him, which is also anchored. And so the meaning of the King of Cups is that your feelings are fuel. They're going to get you where you want to go if you can harness them and channel them toward your best goal. The King of Cups can also just indicate that this is going to be a time where you really want to be level, stable, secure, and not too caught up in tumultuous emotions. And then finally, we have the mythic archetype that's going to help you. We got really great cards this week for Otter with Eos. She's the goddess of the dawn. She's indicating that this is a whole new beginning. And I just feel there's this heaviness that's just coming off of your shoulders. And there's a sense that a new day has dawned. There's some excitement and some renewal that's happening. And it's especially going to come in the form of relationships and connections. And the last thing I'll say about that King of Cups is sometimes he has to do with home. He's associated with the astrological sign of Cancer, which has all to do with your home base, your home relationships, the people that are closest to you. And I just feel like this is going to be a time to hit the reset button, to enjoy all that life is offering to you, and to get excited about what is being presented on your path at this time. Just clear skies ahead for the otter. Next animal, if you pick the turtle spirit, this card says slow and steady wins the race. And turtle is about being methodical and really taking your time and getting you to your destination. Sometimes when we take our time, we have more time with the details. We can really get it right. So if you're attracted to turtle, this might be a time where you don't want to rush through. And turtle is also an archetype that's really associated with the Earth Mother, Gaia. So this could just be a time where you really want to get grounded and centered and back in touch with the earth. First card for turtle is where it's best to place your focus this next week. And we got the Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords is a card of taking charge, triumph by force, creating new conditions. Aces in the tarot will always indicate a positive new beginning, but in the case of the Ace of Swords, this is a card of taking action. It's also a card of taking the initiative. And that doesn't mean, hacking and slashing your way to your objective. The Ace of Swords could indicate it's time to initiate something. And once it's begun, take your time with it, get it right. The Ace of Swords is also a card of proactivity. So not hoping or wishing or waiting for somebody else to come through for you, but instead really taking your initiative and really grabbing the bull by the horns and making your own goals manifest. And then there's also a regal quality to the Ace of Swords. There's a crown on the card. So this could just be a time where you're maintaining your dignity, where you're empowering yourself, and again, where you're taking charge, where you're being a leader. Advice from your inner wisdom is actually the card of judgment. The angel of judgment is blowing the trumpet, and all the dead are rising out of the grave again. And the angel represents your higher self, and the dead rising can represent the dead parts of yourself, the parts that have felt lost or forsaken. Sometimes judgment could indicate that this is going to be a time where you're going to feel like you're waking up, like the phoenix rising out of the ashes. These are both cards of rebirth and renewal and extreme empowerment. So if you've been on the fence about making an important change for your life, these cards really summon you into action. And then the mythic archetype that could help you with this are the Hesperides. They're the goddesses who guard the golden appled garden. And this could just be a time where you're guarding your own goal. You're really going to be nurturing something. It will bear fruit. It really does look like you're growing something that's going to manifest something beautiful in time. And this might be just a time where you're really waking up. You're taking care of yourself, and you're also guarding or enforcing your goals. And so this could just be a time to be really protective about what it is that you're trying to achieve. And then finally, we have the Crow Spirit, and this card says co-create with Spirit. And Crow is all about really delving into the entirety of your spirit. Crow reminds us of the importance of seeing the beauty of our shadow, of looking at difficulties and losses, not as this devastating thing that we need to cling to, but instead with acceptance that there's something really valuable being learned here. And all things in life grow and change, and Crow is the harbinger of change. So this could just be a time where you're really accepting the light and the shadow, and you're really seeing each for the beauty that it brings. The first card for Crow is where it's best to place your focus, and we have the Assertive Emperor. The Emperor is all about creating firm foundations for success. Crow, you might have to apply your wisdom. The Emperor's got that beard, which represents his experience, his time. And he's in a really strong position to be a leader and to protect his realm because he has the wisdom. And this could just be the time when you're really taking everything you've learned and then acting upon it. The Emperor is associated with the astrological sign of Aries, with the little rams on his throne, which can charge ahead. So this, again, could be a time where you're really taking charge and going for it. The advice from your inner wisdom is actually the Wheel of Fortune. So 2 major arcana cards. And when I see a couple of major arcana cards, it usually indicates that you're working on the big stuff, your inner work. The Wheel of Fortune could indicate that you're needing to get centered with the wise center within. You got these figures on the edge of the wheel that are rising and falling every time the wheel turns, and the rim of the wheel is a symbol for the external world and things you don't have any control over. And the trick with the Wheel of Fortune is not to go into the drama up and down with every change that happens, with every action someone else does, but instead to go into that eye of the storm within, that centered place. And from that base of operations, you can let all the crazy go on around you, and you're going to be unaffected. This is a time to apply your wisdom, because we have these 2 very wise cards here. And the mythic archetype that could help you with that is Amalthea. I see her again this week. She is a goddess of nurturing, protecting your goal. Amalthea is also a card of mothering something, nursing something into power. So this could be a time where you're still dealing with something that's vulnerable, and it still needs to be strengthened with some time, maybe some boundaries and discipline as well. But as long as you're in touch with your center, you're going to succeed. And that's this week's Oracle. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you can always check me out at elliotoracle.com and buy a ticket to Tarotpalooza, where I will be one of the instructors on the panel. I'm so excited about that, and I am excited to see you all again next week. So take care.